moving on alphabetically, 61 with an asterisk.
Yes.
So the Billy Crystal story, Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle and the Bronx Bombers. I'm a huge Billy Crystal fan in general. Whether he's behind the camera,
Yes.
in front of the camera, in front of a microphone doing stand-up, it doesn't matter to me. Billy Crystal is one of a kind. And this is completely off topic, but if you have never seen 700 Sundays, it is an absolute treasure of a show. It's a Broadway show. It's a one-man act.
All right.
It's Billy Crystal in front of a mock-up of his house that he grew up in New York. And they use the windows of the house to show like home movies of him as a kid, pictures, whatever. And he's talking about growing up with his brothers and his mom and his dad and everything in life. His dad worked in a record shop with a lot of jazz musicians. That's where Billy Crystal got his love of jazz. It's a phenomenal, heartwarming, and sad and wonderful story. But anyway, not the point of this. Billy Crystal, to me, just is a master at what he does. And his love for baseball is uncontested.
And the Yankees specifically.
Yeah, but New York
Yankees
specifically. And I think he's also a big Mets fan as well. I think he's actually bridged that gap a bit where he's been on both sides of it. But his love is fantastic, and it shows through in the things that he does. And you could tell in 61 that he put his heart and soul into the way that this was put together.
Yeah, it's such a phenomenal story being told because we know, or baseball fans know, the story of Roger Maris, a Midwest kid that played for the Cardinals, then gets traded to or signs with the Yankees the year after he wins, I think, the most valuable player. And just the way you would think that a guy that's chasing what was thought to be an unattainable record, you would think that he would be praised. But the way this story was told was the opposite of that because it's what Maris dealt with. And I don't think that we as fans really understand the pressure that goes into showing up to a ballpark, talking to the fans, signing autographs, and then to add the added pressure on top of that of chasing a baseball god, essentially, in Babe Ruth, is just, the story was so well told. Do you remember where that movie was?
It was filmed at Tiger Stadium, right? They redid Tiger
filmed
Stadium
after
to look
it had
like
closed down. They'd moved.
Yeah.
And in fact, little tidbit for you, there's a scene in the movie where Maris gets called out on strikes, and the umpire goes, "You want me to run you?" That umpire was an umpire that umped my summer travel ball team.
That's cool.
And we'd talk to him about it. So that's my little connection to the movie. But I love this movie because, again, going back to Maris, he was the odd man out. If anybody was going to break the Babe's record, it had to be Mantle. But it wasn't. And that, just the way that Crystal told that story and the way that story came together, I'm interested to see, what did IMDb give it?
A 7.7. So 0.2 higher than 42. In fact, it's the highest of the nonfiction movies that we have on this list.
Very interesting. And I might surprise you with this answer. I think that's perfect.